Okay, hi everybody. Welcome to another English class here on verbling.com. My name is Lisa, and in this hour, we're going to be having a writing practice class. So if you would like to join us to practice your writing, I have a document that I already put up in the Verbling chat box over there that you can open up, and it has lots of different questions and some writing prompts. And what we do in this hour is everybody takes some time to write an answer to one of the questions, or maybe a couple of different ones, and then you read it out loud, and then I correct and give feedback. So it's really a time where you get to spend writing and practicing, because sometimes you don't have that much time to do that. So if you want to join, you can join now if you have a reservation. If you don't have a reservation but you want to join us, just wait a minute. And when you see the join class button, then of course if you're a Verbling member, then you can join. If you're not a Verbling member, then you might want to become a Verbling member. You can do the free 7-day trial to check it out, and otherwise you can pay to become a member, which allows you to take classes pretty much all day, every day. So whatever time works for you, we have classes. So hi guys, hi Hamid, you made it. Is it working?
I hope so, but I don't know.
Well, you're here and I can hear you, but the microphone is a little bit, goes in and out. So I don't know what that is.
I will check it.
Okay. All right. Hi, Luis.
Hello.
How are you?
Teacher. I'm fine, thank you.
Okay. Well, welcome to class. And Miriam, how are you?
Hello, Lisa. I'm fine.
Miriam, is that your cat in the picture?
Well, it's actually my brother's, but I have another cat, and it is black and white.
Oh, okay. Nice. Cute. Okay. And hi, Mustafa.
Hello, teacher. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. How are you today?
I'm doing well as well. Yeah.
Good.
But you know what? I click on the link, but he said he need my permission, and I have to.
It's the same for me as well.
Yeah. You know, I changed the permission. I put it up there just so people could look at it ahead of class, but I didn't want anybody writing on it yet. So if you refresh your page, now you should have access to edit, because before I only gave people access to view, but I changed that, so it should be working now. So you guys can open it up and we can test it and see what's happening. You should be able to.
It's the same, I think.
It's what?
The same. It's looked.
Okay, let me look and see what's going on. Okay. Okay, now it should work. See if that works now.
Yeah, now it's working.
Okay, great. All right. So, hi there, Paco.
Hi, good afternoon.
How are you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good. Okay, we can go ahead and get started. If some other people join us, then they can join us and start writing. But I want to give you guys maximum time. I do have a class after this hour, so I have to keep it to just this 1 hour. So this is how this class works. This is for writing practice. So I'm not really teaching you how to write per se, like a specific type of writing. I'm just giving you some time to practice, and then feedback and corrections, things like that. So this is how I set it up. So we have all these questions. So I put all the questions just in the first page here. So we have the questions, and then what you're going to do is, of course, write an answer. You can choose any question you want. You do not have to do all of them. You do not have to start with the first one. You can just work on one. You could do 2 or 3. It really depends on you. and you can choose whichever one you want. So you write your answer, and then when you're done, you tell me that you're done, and then you read it out loud, and then I will correct it. And then if we have time, repeat. So choose another question, write another answer, same thing. So I will go over the questions. If you already know what you want to write about, I want you to write your answers down here. So like Hamid is writing, so he's writing the short story. So he wrote his name, he wrote what he's doing, he's writing the short story, and then he started his story. So instead of writing underneath here, just scroll down and make some space for yourself, like by just pushing enter or return on your computer. Find a space and then start writing your answer. So number 1 is what Hamid's working on. It's to write a short story that includes these 4 items: a rat, a cookbook, a telescope, a telescope, and an old man. So you would take these 4 things and somehow create a story. This is for the TOEFL essay, so people who want to practice a little bit longer. Usually a TOEFL essay, you have about, I think it's 30 minutes to write it, and it has to be like 4 paragraphs or so, maybe 5 if you have time. It says people attend college or university for many different reasons. For example, new experiences, career preparation, increased knowledge. Why do you think people attend college or university? So that's your question. And then use specific reasons and examples to support your answer. So you could work on that one if you want. Number 3 says, what do you hope to be doing 5 years from now? So that would be in the year 2020. What does your life look like in 2020? So that's a future, so you can explain. Number 4, if you had to change jobs, like right now you have to change your job, which job would you like to have? And then explain why you would like to have that job. Number 5, if you could build your own house, what would it look like and where would you build it? And then you could describe it. So you could describe what it would look like, you know, the size, the bedrooms, the kitchen, the interior, the exterior. Do you want to have a pool? You know, do you want it to be near a beach, in the mountains, that kind of thing? Number 6, your house containing everything you own catches fire. After saving your loved ones and pets, you have time to safely make a final dash. That means to go in and save one item. What would you save and why? Number 7, what is the most important news story that you are currently following? Explain what is going on and your opinion about it. Maybe you're following something locally, something in your own country, or internationally. And then here's a fun one. This is a Dear Abby question. So a Dear Abby question is for you to give somebody advice. So it says, my husband's family gave us a large painting that is not our taste at all. So they don't really like the painting that they got. We would love to get rid of it. It means to not have it in their house, to just give it to somebody. But of course we feel obligated to keep it and hang it in order to not hurt their feelings, so they don't know what to do. The parents live nearby and visit often, so putting the painting away doesn't seem realistic. We live in a small apartment and there is nowhere discreet to hang it. Discreet means like a nice, you know, where it could be look good or something. Plus it is too large for our offices. Other than staging a robbery, so pretending like somebody came in and stole the painting, are there any options that would keep everyone happy? So if you want, you could answer this question and you're giving advice. That's what a Dear Abby is you would answer and give this person advice, what they can do. Okay, does anybody have any questions? Usually we spend about maybe the first 15 to 20 minutes writing. If you want to write a little bit longer first, that's okay. But we want to make sure everybody has time to write an answer, get it corrected, and maybe even have time for 2. Since if we only have 4 people in the class, then we have more time for writing and correcting and talking about it. If we're full, then it's a little bit harder to do that. Okay? So you can write on the page here, or you can write on your own computer and then copy and paste. So it looks like people have already gotten started. Good. Okay, great. If you have any questions, just ask. Hi, Amparo.
Hi, teacher. Good morning.
Good morning. Did you get the link?
No, yet.
Here. There you go.
Thank you.
As I am done.
Okay.
It is a short, but I hope you will like it.
Okay. Go ahead.
Can I read? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Once upon a time, there an old man, and he was very famous cook for village. He had a nickname which was Mr. Coctor, and he was famous especially mid-kind meals. He was invited to a public speech for a seminar to inform younger people. He started to his speech and he wanted to share his interesting story to the audiences. He started and he was telling that I remember my story very clearly like yesterday. I had a pet animal and he was my best friend. It was a rat and his name was Mr. Rory. He was a tester of my meals and I would trust him again and again. And he was right for every time. But one day something was really interesting and lovely. At that day, I found a unique telescope and I was writing my own cookbook for the village people. He showed his signs and he was implying something. When I got the telescope, I started to watch his direction. I saw unknown objects, but they were amazing. I started to be excited. I stopped writing my cookbook. There was a lady on unknown object's surface. She looked like a mermaid, but I found a name for her. A mermaid was in the sea, and she was in the space, so my name was a Specate for her. She started lost just a second. She started to dance and I was stuck for her latest movement because she sent a kiss to me. She was aware of our watching for her. She was attempted to fly and she started to fly towards us. She was at home and I was so excited. Mr. Rory started to get far away from our environment. He was understanding and a gentle rat. We were together at that night, but it was morning. I could not see her. I could not see her. Poor face. Then I started to understand that everything was my making up fantasy, unforgettable night. After that, I put my cook blame that the nicest meals with Specate and Mr. Coctor.
Okay. That's cute. All right, let's start from the beginning. Once upon a time, there was an old man, and he was a very famous cook for his village. He had a nickname, which was Mr. Coctor, and he was I would say he was especially famous for meat kind of meals. All right, he was invited to a public speech to give a seminar. We could just say to give a seminar to younger people. He started his speech, and he wanted to share his interesting story with the audience. He started, and he was telling that, or I would say he was saying, I remember my story very clearly like yesterday, like yesterday, period. I had a pet animal and he was my best friend. It was a rat and his name was Mr. Rory, period. He was a taster of my meals and I trusted him again and again. I would say instead of and, I would say as he was right, and you could just put every time. But one day, something, I would say something really interesting and lovely happened. On that day, he found a unique, I know they tell you before you, but for a unique telescope, and I was writing, okay, period. I was writing my own cookbook for the village people, I would say at the time. He showed his signs. What did you mean his signs?
I mean, he shows something, look at here, because, you know.
Okay, yeah. You could say he waved me over to look at something. You could just say that. All right. When I got to the telescope, I started to watch watch what he had been seeing. I saw some unknown objects, but they were amazing. I started to be excited. I stopped writing my cookbook. There was a lady on an unknown object's surface. She looked like a mermaid, but I found a name for her. A mermaid was in the sea, and she was in space. So I would say so. I named. You could just say I named her Spacade. She started to dance, and I was stuck. I was stuck on her, I would say, waiting for her latest movements because she sent me a kiss to me. All right. She was aware, you could say, that we were watching her. She was talented at flying, and she started to fly toward us. She was at my home, and I was so excited. Mr. Rory started to get far away from our environment. What do you mean he started to get away? Like he walked away or something? Or
Yes, I mean they are together. So the red went
okay.
far.
All right. So he kind of what did you think he was doing?
I mean, one lady and one man are together, so he
Yeah.
goes
Left us alone.
from that environment. Yes.
Okay. Left. I would just say he left us alone. All right, Mr. Roy left us. He was an understanding and gentle rat. We were together that night, but it was morning. But I would say in the morning, I could not see her or see my lovely Spacade. Mr. Roy put a cup of water.
Brought
a cup of water, and he poured it onto my face. Then I started to understand that everything had been a fantasy. An unforgettable night. After this event, I put my cookbooks, I titled my cookbook Nicest Meat Meals with Spacade and Mr. Cox. Okay. So he was a dreamer.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Did you like it?
Uh-huh, it's cute.
Okay. And how is my writing ability?
It's pretty good. I found that one that you said putting name instead of the named, I named her. So you be careful about putting, just kind of think of the actions more. So in English, when you do something versus making it like, do you remember what you did? You said my putting name or something like that. It's the name I gave her or that I named her. So it's a thing that we talked about before. But other than that, just a few things. You know, when you're writing, just think of the action, too, that you want. So some of those things, like just some of the vocabulary, you caught it here, the brought a cup makes more sense to put a cup. Yeah. So that's all.
Okay, thank you.
Anybody else ready?
I can.
Okay.
Check.
All right, Luis.
Luis.
Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Here you go.
I must read?
Yes.
Okay. Go to college is a big deal in Brazil. People usually get in a superior education mostly because there is a status in study at this level. Depending on the area, they have assurance of get a good job, but this is not the rule for all areas. Areas such as healthcare, engineering or law are really good choice, but areas such as business, administration, economy, accountability, for example, can be a trouble if you don't have good connections beforehand. They are more traditional between families or closed groups of people, and it's hard for an outsider get inside. The idea that have a college education raises people socially in Brazil comes from the colonial past, given that usually just rich people had access to this kind of studies. Nowadays, it's not so hard for a young Brazilian getting college. There are many graduates unemployed or doing underrated jobs. It is very common in Brazil that successful professionals start a career just with a high school diploma and after a few years complete his education studying in an evening college school. I think that go to college is important for many reasons besides improve professional life. A higher education expands horizons and makes people more critical in your social and political decisions.
Okay. All right, good. So I'll make a few corrections. So instead of just go to college, we say going to college. So going to college, that's kind of like actually the subject there. Going to college is a big deal in Brazil. People usually get I would say let's say we would say go into superior education or upper education. People usually go into superior education mostly because there is a status in studying at this level. Depending on the area, they have assurance of getting a good job, but this is not the rule for all areas. Areas such as healthcare, engineering, law are really good choices, but areas such as business, administration, economy, we would say economics, and then we might say accounting, actually. For example, can be, I would say instead of a trouble, you could say problematic if you don't have good connections beforehand. I would say these are more traditional areas of what? Areas or okay, these subject areas are more traditional between families or closed groups of people, and it is hard for an outsider to get inside. All right. I'm trying to. Are you talking about these like business is difficult, like to
Yes.
get a job, or something like that?
Yes, most of the people they have companies already. So
Oh, okay.
if a person is son of
Uh-huh.
somebody, but if you are not, your knowledge will not make difference.
Okay. Right. It is more traditional for people to go into business, I would say, with their families or closed groups of people, and it is hard for an outsider to get in. I would just say in. Yeah. Okay, so you need connections first. Yeah, sure. Not just an education. Yeah.
That's right.
Okay. The idea that, and again, having a college education raises people socially in Brazil comes from the colonial past, given that usually just rich people had access to these kind of studies. Okay, that's fine. Nowadays, it is not so hard for a young Brazilian, capitalize, to get into college, and there are many graduates who are unemployed or doing underrated jobs. Yeah, doing jobs that they're overqualified for, we could say.
Yes.
It is very common in Brazil that successful professionals start a career just with a high school diploma, and after a few years complete I would say there, just because we said professional. Their education studying in an evening college. And you don't need to put school, just put college. I think that going to college is important for many reasons besides improving professional life. A higher education expands horizons and makes people more critical in, I would say, critical regarding social and political decisions. Okay, good. So, Luis, is that what people are doing? Is this more common? This idea here of people getting a job and going?
Yes.
Is that pretty common nowadays? Yeah.
Is still the rule, but I don't know after 5 or 10 years because it's changing. But
Okay.
it's still normal. You see 40 years old people studying, but they have 20 years working already.
I see. Yeah. Okay. Good. That's good to know. Some countries it seems like it's harder to go to college if you're older, but yeah, that's the same here in the United States. You can always go back to college at any age. Yeah, you can get a degree. Okay, let's see. Mustafa, you're done? Which one did you do, Mustafa? Let's see. Here we go. Okay. You want to read, Mustafa?
Okay. There are different reasons that make people join university. Some people join university for specific goals to achieve. We have to note that joining university is not easy for everyone. Some people have a passion to study, but their circumstance force them to work and help their family, so they wouldn't have a time to study and join university or even afford for it. If you are not one of those people, you are a lucky one. I think everyone must give himself the gift of education. You need to keep learning and progress in this life, or you would be like a dead person. Some people want to complete their education in university to start their own dreams. Some people want to get a good certificate to get a job to help their family.
Okay, so I'm going to make some corrections. When you say there are different reasons that make people join university, we don't really use the word join to talk about university. We either say something like go to university or attend university, or study at the university. So I would change it to there are different reasons that make people go to university. Some people attend, and then you can mix it up. Attend university for I would say to achieve university to achieve specific goals. We have to notice that going to university is not easy for everyone. Period. Some people have a passion to study, but their circumstances force them to work and help their family. So I would just say, so they don't have time to study and attend university or even afford it. Okay? If you are not one of those people, you are a lucky one. I think everyone must give himself the gift of education. You need to keep learning and progressing in this life, or you will be like a dead person. Some people want to complete their education okay, I would say some people want to complete their education at university to start their own dreams. Some people want to get a good certificate to get a job to help their family. Yep. Good. All right, you want to read your number 4?
Okay, if I had to change a jobs, if I had to change a job, yeah.
You can just say jobs, yeah.
Yeah, jobs. Yeah, okay. I would like to have a job in a specific area in my major. The situation in my country and oil prices are making select the job you want so difficult. On the other hand, the corruption is everywhere, that making finding the job you want too hard. In addition, you are as a fresh we are as a fresh graduated students are finding difficulties to join companies because they are always looking for people with an experience. One of my reasons to change a new job is trying to get a much larger salary so I can achieve my future plans sooner.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so if I had to change jobs, I would like to have a job in the specific area of, we say, of my major. The situation in my country and oil prices are making selecting the job you want so difficult. On the other hand, the corruption, I would say corruption, is everywhere. And that makes finding the job you want too hard. In addition, we are, as freshly, we would say freshly graduated, freshly graduated students. In addition, we are finding difficulty I would say difficulties in joining companies or in getting jobs at companies because they are always looking for people with experience. One of my reasons to change jobs is trying to get a much larger salary so I can achieve my future plans soon. Okay. That would be a good reason.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, Mariam, looks like you're done.
Yes, I'm done.
Okay.
Okay. There exist very low light intensities that the human eye cannot perceive. If you see a place pitch dark, maybe it not be the same situation for cats, dogs, or horses. They have more sensitive eyes, so they can walk for themselves in the middle of the night, wherever they are. In search of making better eyes, human technology has created a way to see photons. Photons are the minimal amount of light in the entire universe. Being able to detect them has made telescopes from around the Earth and the space much more precise at spotting more colors, black holes, and planets orbiting other stars in our galaxy, the Milky Way. In daily life applications, it has allowed to build better equipment to detect drugs and cancer. Mm, my experience in detecting photons has taken some years at the research lab I work in, not to mention the skepticism of my advisor and some other teachers who are going to be old men soon. In- Meanwhile, I've been able to achieve meaningful advances, so they feel much more relieved. For now, I feel a little nostalgic because I've just finished my job contract. Soon, I will be making a sort of cookbook for using the equipment, apps, and PC software I made so they can use the detection and counting system easily. And then I remember I was given a talk 2 years ago to them when my workmates were much more skeptical. In Spanish, rat is said rata, and it is incorrectly used to refer to the rate of occurrence of events. My advisor was using this word in his remarks. I was trying to correct my advisor, and then a rat appeared out of nothing, and I said repeatedly, rata, rata. Nobody understood me. Then the rat walked in, so everyone noticed. He and, he and other people jumped from their seats and got shocked. All of us laughed at that courageous little rat who tried to cross the entire lab. After that, some repairs were done in unnoticed buildings leaks. It's nice that I didn't see any rat around anymore, nor any other centipede roaming around the floor.
That's great. Okay, awesome. All right, let's go from the top here. All right, there exist very low light intensities that the human eye cannot perceive. If you see a place pitch dark, okay, I would say if you see a pitch dark place, maybe it would not be this. It'd not be the same situation for cats, dogs, or horses. They have more sensitive eyes, so they can walk. We would say by themselves. Walk by themselves in the middle of night wherever they are. In the search for prepositions are difficult. In the search for making better eyes, human technology has created a way to see photons. Photons are the minimal amount of light in the entire universe. Being able to detect them has made telescopes from around the Earth and the space, I could say, and around the Earth and in space, much more precise at spotting more colors, black holes, and planets orbiting other stars in our galaxy, the Milky Way. In daily life applications, it has allowed, we could say, us to build better equipment to detect drugs and cancer. My experience in detecting photons has taken some years at the research lab I work in, not to mention the skepticism of my advisor and some other teachers who are going to be old men soon. That's funny. Meanwhile, I've been able to achieve meaningful advances, so they feel much more relieved. For now, I feel a little nostalgic because I've just finished my job contract. Soon I will be making a sort of cookbook for using the equipment and PC software I made so they can use the detection and counting system easily. Perfect. Then I remember that I was giving a talk 2 years ago to them. Why did you put then there?
Because I remembered that when I was writing.
You could just start it off without it then. Okay. I remember that I was giving a talk 2 years ago to them when my workmates were much more skeptical. In Spanish, capitalize that, rat instead of rata, and it is incorrectly used to refer to rate of occurrence of events. My advisor was using this word in his remarks. I was trying to correct my advisor, and then a rat appeared out of, we say, nowhere. And I said repeatedly, rata, rata. Nobody understood me. Then the rat walked in, so everyone noticed. He and other people jumped from their seats and got shocked. I would say, and were shocked. All of us laughed at that courageous little rat which tried to cross the entire lab. After that, some repairs were done in I would say, done to some unnoticed building, you could just say building leaks. It's nice that I didn't see any rats around anymore, nor any other centipedes roaming around the floor. Great. All right. Miriam, do you like, that wasn't true, was it?
Yes.
Oh, it was? I was wondering, like, that sounded pretty good. Oh, wow. Okay, so you're a scientist?
Well, yes.
Okay, great. Yeah, that was really interesting. Awesome. All right, thank you. And let's see, Amparo, are you ready?
I suppose so. I just wrote a little bit because I was late.
Okay. Well, we have 10 minutes, so if you guys want to stick around, we can read this, and then we can talk a little bit and finish up the hour. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and read yours.
If I could build my own house, I would like to build a house just for living there on weekends. This house should have many rooms, a big kitchen with enough space, and all the stuff necessary to prepare delicious food. This house should have an area big enough to sow and grow my own trees of fruit, my vegetables, and my flowers. The ideal place for this house would be in the way to our beach house, so you would be able to move to the beach or to the city just in 45 minutes. The house should have many windows, should be high so it would be fresh the whole year. It should have hammocks in a covered area so you can enjoy the breeze with the odor of wet soil and fresh vegetables. It would be a nice place to run away from the noisy city, but it is just for spending time on the weekends. I prefer to live in the city.
Okay, good. All right, let's see. Not too much, I don't think. If I could build my own house, excuse me, I would like to build a house just for living there on weekends. We call that a weekend getaway house. This house should have many rooms, a big kitchen with enough space, and all the stuff necessary to prepare delicious food. This house should have an area big enough to sow and grow my own trees. We could say just own fruit trees.
Okay.
fruit trees, my vegetables, and my flowers. The ideal place for this house would be on the way to our beach
Location.
house. So you would be able to move to the beach or to the city just in 45 minutes. The house should have many windows, should be high, so it would be fresh the whole year. It should have hammocks in a covered area so you could enjoy the breeze with the odor of wet soil and fresh vegetables. It would be a nice place to run away from the noisy city, but it is just for spending time on the weekends. I prefer to live in the city. Okay, nice. So Amparo, I can't remember. Does your family have a house at the beach, or do you guys
Yeah.
just go there sometimes? Oh, okay, you have a house there.
Yeah. It is just 1 hour and a half from here. So
Uh-huh.
that is why. Yeah. In the middle of the two cities, it would be perfect.
Ah. So
So you can go to wherever you want.
how often does your family go to the beach?
Well, nowadays because my nephews and nieces are about to finish the school.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I suppose we are going to start to going more often. Yes, we were there just at the beginning of January. We were planning to go on Carnival, but at the end, not everyone went. Just one of my sisters, and we stayed just at home here. But yes, when is the season, and this is the season for going to the beach. So yes, it when more often we go there. Hmm.
So wait a minute. Right now is the season to go to the beach?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I thought, well, what are the summer months? I thought it was like more like December and January.
Our summer's month is when is it's the temperature is in between 22 to 27.
Mm-hmm.
But for us in this season we have temperatures of 30, 34,
Oh,
38. So that is when we decide to go to the beach because the
yeah.
water is warm.
Cool.
Yeah, sunny days. Yes, sunny days.
So is
Yes,
the
so just
water good for swimming?
yes. Who
Mm.
knows how to swim? Sure, they enjoy a lot.
Make sure you know how to swim. Yes, important.
Yeah. If you know how to swim, yeah,
Like the
yeah.
waves aren't too big or something like that, or?
Well, I have one of my nephews, for example. He's just 12 years old and he's not tall yet,
Mm-hmm.
but phew, he enjoy a lot, and
Really? Wow.
and he just swim without trouble. Yeah,
Wow, that's great. That's great.
yeah.
Awesome. That's
But
fun.
sometimes yes, the weights are really strong and they are hitting them. But well,
Mm-hmm.
people who knows how to swim,
Yeah. What about
they
surfers? Are they big enough for surfing?
well in the on the beach that I go,
Mm-hmm.
no, it's not for surf. There are others that is yes proper for surfing. The
Okay.
Montañita is a place that where people goes for surf, or there is another beaches where Esmeraldas at the north of the country that
Hmm.
people goes for surf. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. Okay. Interesting. Miriam,
Yes.
so tell me about this story. Like you're researching photons?
Yes.
And what are you finding out?
Uh, well, it's an idea that my advisor has of starting some corrosion in metals because it costs a lot of money to some companies that make iron, steel, and other metals and structures for buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And also because I have a workmate who is making some nanotechnology fabrics and stuff. So detecting photons is a way to know if the material is good, strong, and other stuff that he needs to find out.
Mm. So what did you study in college to that prepared you for this work?
I started electronics engineering, and I am now studying for my master's degree.
Oh, okay. In electrical engineering or what?
No, it's general engineering and with some emphasis in optics.
In optics. Oh, okay. Yeah. So you're working in a lab at the university?
Well, yes.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Well, versus like a private company or something like that. Do you see what I'm saying? You're not working in a lab at a company, you're working in a lab at a university.
Yes.
Oh, okay. All right. And what do you hope to do in the future?
Well, now that my job is, well, I've just finished the contract, so I am only starting the masters, and maybe I will have some months to rest.
Ah,
Uh,
okay. Yeah.
and go to the
Amparo, what do you say?
Yeah, Candy, the cat is fat.
yeah. No, that cat, I've done everything to get her thin. So I play with her every day. I serve her little rations of food, but everything has been, I don't know, impossible. Because this cat
Too
is
lazy.
great.
A spoiled child.
Yeah. Yeah. Cute. Cute cat, though.
Eh,
Okay. All right, girls. Thanks for coming to class and sticking to the end and for writing. Maybe I'll see you in the next hour. If not, have a great weekend.
yeah, teacher,
Okay,
take care.
everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye, guys.
Teacher.
Bye.
Bye.
Mariam.
Bye